And we're live.
Oh, well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Morning Ritual. I am one of your hosts, Noir. I go by he, they, and of course, with me is I don't know which side to point to.
I'm over here on your other side. That side. Yeah. There you go. Hi, I'm your other host, Anita. My pronouns are she, they. And we've got an amazing guest for you today. And I'm realizing right now that I haven't set up the captions properly. So I'm the only one that's being captured.
Mm-mm-mm. Well, I guess it's those walking trees time.
Damn.
We just gotta submit to the fact that spooky shit is coming towards us.
I'm gonna send that Llorona to your house.
It's all
As
right,
long
guys.
as I don't die embarrassingly, that's all I want. Just let me keep my
Like I
pants on.
said at the beginning, if you're not having tech issues, are you even a streamer? I stand by that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna throw the link to this Google Meet into the chat if
Yeah.
if folks want to join in
I-
and make sure
I
the
got
tab's
you.
muted. I thank you. I appreciate it. We're doing it live, folks. We're doing it live. Classic
We're doing it
Critical Miss
live.
start. That's why I keep coming back. That's right, Morshadi. Is it even a Critical Mrs. chat if we don't have tech issues and get roasted by the chat?
I think that's true. I know that I for one still own Mental Lobby a schedule link for our StarCross game that I've just been lazy in dealing with mainly because of work stuff, and I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get cooked because of that today.
Yeah. Lummy is already in chat and says, yup.
There we go.
See, at least I know. Oh man.
Mm.
You've also disappeared from.
Oh yeah, for very good reason because I went all technicolored, like
Oh, yeah.
purple and green.
I did see that.
stuff.
That's fair.
At
Listen,
first, I thought you were like doing some trippy effect. I was like, all right, no, do you think? You know what? I'm not here to judge you.
Go off, King.
Yeah, go off. Let him cook.
So that's what happens when I try to give people my captions.
it's true. You know what? I'm gonna take us to the break. It's just super
No,
quick.
let them live in this. Let them live in this with us.
Honestly, we're so far in the bit, we might as well just let it run.
It's true.
Let the boy watch.
The boy being all three of our viewers.
Let them watch. Let them see how the sausage is made. All right, I'm back.
Welcome back. Can I get you with the Google Meets, please?
Gosh, you shut the hell up, all right? I'm asking joy. Anyway, so we have a fantastic guest with us today.
The fuck did I sign up for?
Ain't no going back.
It is
now,
9
baby.
a.m. Bam. Listen.
You listen, no, you listen. I don't know how she duped me into doing a fucking Saturday morning show.
You thought I was hot.
Ah,
Well,
Noir, I
damn.
see you are a man of huzzah, a man of culture. I see. I get it. I've been there. I've done dumb shit for hot
And I've
people.
been paying for it ever since.
Damn, Anita, really? You're gonna make Noir pay for it? And on
Yeah.
February? Yeah, Black History
Month.
Damn.
Man, the only thing we have gotten as a people this February is the Knuckles trailer.
I'm glad
Noir
we
does
all-
get
I-
wild around hot folks.
I'm just glad we all collectively agreed. Outside of Idris Elba, Knuckles has always been black.
Yes, absolutely. There's some questions on the races of some of the other. I don't know.
Sonic is white. Sonic is white for sure.
I've heard white or light skin coded.
No, Shadow's light skin.
Whoa,
I mean,
whoa,
this is Jaleel White erasure, is what this is. I'm just gonna say, are we gonna ignore the fact
yes,
that it's VO for years?
yes, we are. How the fuck did we get? Anyway, so
God damn. That's took a
fantastic
turn.
We got a fantastic. Did we? I don't think we've actually introduced you
No,
yet.
Jonathan, tell us about yourself, please. Save us from this. I thought you had a tight ship.
I don't run shit. I'm not out in the I'm not out in the ocean. The fuck? Hola, buenas tardes. You guys might know me as Latinos Against Spooky Shit. My name is Jonathan, and I teach the internet how to avoid fucking creepy, scary, spooky things using some traditional Mexican methods that I grew up with: la chancla, el vix, la cobija, tequila, Paquita la del barrio, cantinflas, and all the fun things that we all grew up with. So, absolute pleasure being here. Wild start to this.
It's probably going to get worse from here. So anyway, watching your videos, like I have to tell you, I've never felt more connected with my Latino brothers and sisters because the videos inevitably will be some white person walking where they don't belong, and then like everyone with a touch of melanin in their skin goes, "Don't go in there," and then the white person's like, "I should go in there," and
Yeah.
I just want to thank you for doing the good work of racial relations.
I'm trying to bridge that gap, Listen, I'm really trying to extend that olive branch and being like, we can help if y'all let us. Like, we can avoid these things. But it's so funny that you mentioned that because I never actively like call out anybody in my videos for like being white and dumb. I'm never like, hey, stop being a stereotype. But I've realized going back at like 180 videos, I'm like, oh damn, they are all just white people.
Usually,
There's the occasional Latino in there, and I'm like, So,
I mean, I'm white, but I came from a rural area, so I know better than to fuck around with weird shit.
I don't know about that.
no, some
I mean,
rural folks.
I'll climb places.
Yeah. God damn it. I climb places.
Yeah.
It's just how matter of fact that was.
Yeah.
Like, we know what that means.
Like,
well, there was a ladder on the side of a building, and I have access to it. What am I supposed to do?
Leave it alone.
Yeah. Hold on. Is it your building?
Yes. Well,
Do you
I
know
don't
what's
own
in there
the
already?
building. It's just the roof.
Why?
What?
What benefit is there?
Listen, she moved into my apartment with me, and then honestly, I had never noticed the ladder. I had never noticed.
Of course you didn't.
I just caught
your ancestors blinded you to it because you ain't got to go there. We ain't got to know what's up there.
One day I just catch up looking at it longingly, and I'm like, "What the fuck? Oh wow, I guess that is a ladder."
Damn.
Hey, listen, I wasn't the one that got up there and lit off fireworks on 4th of July.
Although, let's be fair, you would have been suspect number one.
I would have been. That was our neighbors.
Are they also of the melaninless variety?
I couldn't tell it was dark out.
Oh, that's it. Okay. Wow. Okay.
They were
again,
and there was
on February.
Sure.
That's been my favorite. That's been my favorite thing to say
roasted.
to people all month because, like, obviously not black, Mexican, but somebody will say something that's not even remotely racist, but they'll just say something and be like, "Wow, really?" On February, and they're like, "What? What did I say?" I was like, "Think about it," and then come back to me. It's like, "Damn, I really don't like ice in my soda." Wow, really?
Man,
on February?
jeez.
Damn, didn't know you were racist like that. It's like, what?
Right in front of me.
Right in front of me too. You don't want black adjacent, right?
I have to ask you, has there been a video that sticks out to you that is a little spookier than the rest?
So, pulling back the curtain a little bit for the folks, there's a few videos that are so long, but you have to watch it all with context, or else it doesn't make sense for me to like clip it. I try to limit it to like 15 to 30 seconds of somebody's video and then my commentary. But some of these videos have like such a build up to it that I couldn't clip it and appropriately express like how terrifying it is because it takes away from it. So I have a few of those that have been saved that are really haunting 3 to 5 minutes long, and like I'm just glued to it. And of course, fucking TikTok, the algorithm, they show all my shit up at 3 in the morning when I'm like trying to sleep and I'm doom scrolling and like, oh, you want scary shit? Boom. And I'm like, okay, thanks.
Well, I was
Um,
sleeping anyway, so
yeah, guess we're not sleeping anymore. But no, been a couple good ones. There's one, and I can't obviously can't remember the account that posted it. It was a while ago, but he's going out into, of course, he's going out into a barn, and it seems like he lives out in rural area. It's cold, so you can see his breath. And when he goes into the barn, because he like heard something, uh, he goes ahead and like you can see behind one of the posts, breath, like somebody's breathing because it's that cold. It's like who's here, who's there. He goes and checks, nobody's there. And the camera work, I also pulling back the veil even further. I fucking know that some of these videos are fake, guys. I understand, like I was born in an age and era where I watched Photoshop happen. I can tell fake videos. I'm still going to use them for the content. And I'm sure that this is one of those videos that was properly edited, but you just see as he's panning, it's middle of the night and he's only got like the flashlight on his phone on. But as he's moving around, you can just barely see out of the corners like a disembodied silhouette like moving, and it's knocking shit over, whatever. And it's so good and it's so well done, but it's absolutely horrifying. Uh, it's I think at one point like it's like a kid skittering like into the woods like right outside the barn. I'm
No,
like, fuck that, I can't do that.
no,
Like kids are already horrifying. I say that as a parent. Like kids are fucking terrifying.
no, thank you. The one that the one that got me, and I think I remember like watching this before I knew you were doing TTRPG stuff too. Because I got like mad at you for posting. It was just like this girl, uh, uh, sitting at her door and something on the other side knocking, going, "I'm your mom. I'm your mom." Like
Yeah,
you're like,
I
"That
know
is not
exactly
your
what.
mom," and I'm like,
Uh,
"Bro, don't. I can't. No, that's the kind of thing that gets me." Like,
his moms don't respect space. No, your mom ain't asking you to come in. They walking in, and then they're gonna get mad. Why'd you lock your door? The fuck?
exactly.
It's my room. It's my house. I'm like, damn.
Yeah, the fact that that was a knock and not a boot through the door was the dead giveaway. But still, that's the kind of fear that gets me.
Oh yeah.
I just no, thank you. But
Mm,
you kind of brought up something that I didn't even consider from your side of things, which is you post these videos and it's for good fun and everything, but I can only imagine the comments that you get that are just like, well, this is fake and this is why. Like
yeah.
that's gotta be annoying after a certain amount.
It is, but at the same time, like I get some people, the majority of the bad comments are it's one of two things. It's either oh, this is clearly fake, like I can't believe you fall for this. Or, I can't believe people are so ignorant and really like believe in like all these things. And I'm like, I can't believe that you believe that I believe this. That makes you the dumb one. That's like if I get caught taking a shit in public, I'm the guy that got caught taking a shit in public. But if you watch me take a shit in public, you're the one that watched. So it's one of those things where it's like, you're the dumbass for believing me. So
Uh, so I that brings me to my next point or my next question, which I always ask folks that have like kind of found a platform in TikTok, which is where do you feel that you get the most annoying comments? On what platform I should say, or like
that's interesting.
yeah,
Um, I I recently started branching out, and so I've got a platform on Facebook now, which just reposting the same content. But that's gained a following. I'm like at 100,000, which is wild because I just
that's
started
dope.
posting. I started posting like a month ago, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is another thing.
Congrats, man.
Thank you. Um, I think just because of the demographic of people, Facebook has slowly started to become the worst one. Uh, just because so many people are, well, one, you don't have a limit on how long of a message you can post in the comments. So that's that's empowering to dumb people.
Oh
Uh,
no.
Yeah, because I'll get chunks of text ripping into me for things. Like, clearly this is stupid. If you look at frame rate 3.2, you can see that there's a string that pulls the door open, which clearly signifies, it's like, shut up. Shut up. You really think Tom Cruise knows how to fucking fly a fighter jet in Top Gun? No. Okay. Yeah, so Facebook I think is quickly becoming the trolliest of them all. Love all my communities, obviously, but when it comes to troll comments, just the ability to post in excess makes Facebook one of the more lethal ones at this time.
And one of the things I've heard about Facebook comments, and correct me if I'm wrong, their algorithm doesn't do the best job of what am I like? I think they kind of just shotgun blast content everywhere. So I've had friends who post non-political comments find their content on a political side of the spectrum that they absolutely don't fuck with. Like, has that ever
Yeah.
occurred to you where it's just like
Oh,
people are
100%.
like, "Oh, I love your stuff. See you next January."
Yeah. Honestly though, legit shit like that happens. Like I'll see a comment start getting posted, right? You know, somebody will comment like, "Oh my god, this content's so funny. I loved XYZ that you said. I can relate." I'm like, "Oh, cool. Appreciate that. Thanks." I'll ignore it for like a day or two. I'll go back because I like to engage. I go back and then it shows you like the most recent comment, but you can see like 937 replies. And then the most recent comment, and it's like, and that's why your mama's a bitch. And I'm like, wait a minute, what happened? And I gotta scroll back up, and people are talking about, you know, Trump, and they're talking about like building the wall, and they're talking about like Gaza and like all these things. And I'm like, how did we devolve from me talking about a ghost to somebody dissing your mama and talking about a current world political issue? Like, what
Yeah,
in the world?
I know Facebook is notorious for that. Like, how do you manage is the question.
Uh, honestly, I grew up in a Mexican household, dude. I've been getting roasted my whole fucking life. I don't give a shit what people say. Like, I've never cared. Um, I know in my heart of hearts that I am funny. And so nobody can tell me otherwise. So people are like, "You're not funny." I'm like, "You're not the one that's got a fucking platform of 1.1 million." So I don't give a fuck right now. Um, it's empowering, but I've always known that I'm funny. If anything, maybe even a little offensive at times, but you know, comedy can be a little abrasive. So no, it just doesn't
Absolutely.
bug me. It never has.
What was the moment where you knew that this was a thing? Like, oh,
Oh man.
I've kind of got them hooked in.
The oh shit moment for me happened when I did my first paid collaboration, and it was with Warner Brothers for their Evil Dead
Wow.
movie. Yeah,
Oh, can you tell us about that? Like, how did that even start?
absolutely. So yeah, to give you that story, I have to tell you one other story, which is how I even got there to begin with.
Okay.
Um, my first video that blew up was the voice video that I did, where a girl's like, "Have you ever noticed that your voice is different depending on what language you speak?" And I did, "Hi, my name is Jonathan. This is my voice in English." And then I did, "Hola, mi nombre es Jonathan." It's a little bit higher. And so I did a reaction video of that, and it blew my fucking mind. So overnight, 6 million views, 10,000 followers. I'm like, oh shit, maybe I'm a voice guy. Let's start doing voice stuff. Didn't do shit. And then I did a video because I worked in restaurants my whole life since I was 8 years old. I did a video of me flipping some fried eggs, 6 million views. I'm like, fuck, I'm an egg guy. God damn it. Shit. And
Nobody
so
wants to be the egg guy.
nobody wants to be the fucking egg guy, dude. Nobody. You went to school with an egg kid. You don't want to be the egg guy, okay? So fucking I I started doing food videos, didn't do well. Latinos Against Spooky Shit, that happened to do well, and then that's when I started blowing up. So fast forward about a year later, the idea of doing this full time hasn't even occurred to me at this point. Um, and I'm probably sitting at about 200, maybe 250,000 followers at this point in time. And I get a talent manager that reaches out. He's like, "Hey, we're working currently with Warner Brothers. and we're looking for people to, you know, do content with this. He was also Latino, and he's like, we would love to work with you. We think your content's hilarious. It would fit so well with this. Warner Brothers totally on board. They've seen your content, and can you get a script together for us so we can kind of see what it would look like? And sure enough, we back and forth for a little bit, got a script. Um, Super cool people to work with because they let me kind of just do my own thing. They're like, we trust you, we trust your content, we trust your brand, you know how to pitch it, do your thing. We just want to make sure that like there's nothing in there that is like legally, you know, obscured or anything like that. So
Yeah.
just send us verbatim. I sent it, they okayed it, filmed it, and posted it. But they let me do my own creative thinking process. They didn't pigeonhole me or anything like that.
Wow.
That's so
Which
cool.
was super great. And I was gonna get an invite to go to one of the premieres, but unfortunately, I didn't live anywhere near the city at that point in time, and they weren't flying anybody out. They were just giving like VIP stuff for people that could show up, which
Yeah.
totally get it. I'm not, you know, be like, they wouldn't fly me out. They treated me like a poor. Like, no, it's you know, it was totally fine, but the option was there, which was super cool. So Warner Brothers was my first paid collaboration, which again,
That's
to this day,
wild.
mind blowing. That's how I started.
I mean, I how do you even react to somebody going, "Hey, Warner Brothers, the company has watched your stuff and they dig it." Like that's
I I I didn't jump on it right away because I was so nervous because I was like, ain't no fucking shot, dude. Like, no way. Warner Brothers. So this person and I, like, we exchanged emails back and forth for a little bit. Eventually we did a call just to communicate. And I was like, is this the Warner Brothers? Or is this like Warner Brothers with like two V's for a W and it's some guy sitting in the Middle East right now fucking with me? Like, what's going on here?
Warner
You
Brothers.
know? Yeah, Warner Brothers. I was like, But he's like, no, it's Warner Brothers. So, you know, yeah, it's, and even everything after that too, it never feels real. Yeah, to this day, I've been doing this full time now for 7 months, and none of that shit feels real. Whenever I get somebody who's like, hey, we want to work with you, I'm like, ain't no fucking way you want to work with me.
like, and I think that's the next question, which is like after that, that's kind of the moment you consider going full time. The first guy, it sounds like he scouted you. At like after you work with Warner Brothers, do more people scout you, or do you decide, you know, I'm gonna, now that I know that my content is of that quality, I'm gonna go out and find people who want to work with me? Like, how did you make that transition?
It's a little bit of both. I think that gave me the confidence for sure to be like, okay, people are willing to work with me. Cool. And if Warner Brothers is willing to, for a long time, I thought my name could be problematic, Latinos Against Spooky Shit, because of the shit in it,
Yeah.
you know. But when Warner Brothers was like, hey, we want to work with you, I was like, okay, a company won't actually give a shit over a word like that. Cool. I don't have to worry too much about it. Um, but for the most part, it's been people reaching out to me. I've reached out to some folks. Mind you, I haven't reached out in a while because I got discouraged. You know, you reach out to people and at the very least, give me a hey, we're not interested email. You know, so
Yeah.
I was getting very discouraged by no replies. But that's when I was 200, 300,000. You know,
Yeah.
that was like a year and a half ago, 2 years ago. I haven't reached out since then because everything's kind of landed on my lap, thank God. And I've been very
Yeah.
fortunate and lucky in that regard.
Would you
But
say
I am
would you say those companies
ghosted you.
ghosted you?
I swear to
Yeah.
God, I saw it coming from a mile away.
Yeah, I know. That's fine.
It's so good though.
I live with this.
Hey, there's worse things to live with.
Those puns come out of nowhere, like they're so fast.
Quick-witted
Yeah.
Anita.
Yeah.
Quick-witted Anita.
I'm Pun Ida.
How do I exit this fucking call?
All
How do
right.
Take
fuck
me
outta
with
here.
you. No, so like I noted that you were discouraged about your name for a bit there. How come you never pulled the
Yeah.
trigger on changing it? Like, you know, what was that thing that was just like, no, I'm gonna stick with this?
It just sounds so fucking good. It and I wish that it was anything other than pure. It's two things. One, vanity of being like, this is a good fucking name. This is a solid name that I came up with on a whim in an improvised video that I did. This is the first thing that came out of my fucking mouth, and it's worked. I'm gonna stick with it. And two, I think a lot of us of the BIPOC affiliation can relate. Fucking spite. I want to succeed just to be spiteful.
Yes.
Like that was the other thing. That's the majority of what's driven me is pettiness and spite. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna make it work. Absolutely not. I shouldn't have to conform just so somebody else will like my content and what I do. This is what it is. This is who I am. So I'm gonna keep doing it, and you know, whoever wants to work with me will, and whoever doesn't won't.
Now, unfortunate reality of like TikTok and social media is that when one person has a good idea, a lot of people go, "Yeah, that is a great idea for us." Have you noticed anybody biting your style a bit? And like, how do you deal with that? Do you just kind of ignore it, or is it just like, "Hey, man, that's not." Listen, I had the name Noir Enigma for a very long time, and then all of a sudden there's another one on Instagram, and I'm kind of like,
A little salty about it.
fine.
Mm.
How do you feel?
I I've had a few people reach out to me actually,
Mhm.
both on Instagram, actually on all platforms now, and they've been like, "Hey man, I absolutely love your content. I identify as, you know, I'm black, I'm Indian, I'm Asian. I want to do my own version of this. Is that okay with you?" So a lot of people have like asked, like, "Hey, we don't want to step on toes. This is cool." And I've always replied with the same thing. I was like, I don't care. Like, this is specific to Latinos. You guys might have very different thoughts and opinions and views and cultural nuances that we don't have. Do your own thing. I'm not worried about it. There's more than enough pie for everybody involved. So I'm never going to gatekeep like that. And
That's
nor will
awesome.
I, nor should I, nor have I. Because it doesn't make sense. It's like, you know, these people in the TTRPG space, kind of shifting it over to that, a lot of them try to like pigeonhole and gatekeep like their own content. It's like, well, I started doing, and this is to no one in particular. This is just a very common theme. Let's start there. Like tavern style themes. A lot of
Yeah.
creators do it. And I'll go in the comments sometimes because a lot of these creators are friends of mine, and I'll always see people like, "Oh, you're just copying so and so." Well, this other person did something similar. But then I'm like, why can't it all exist? Why does it matter? Right? Like these people act differently, they portray different characters. It just so happens to be in a similar setting, but there's so much you can do with that. Let it be. Nobody gives a shit. So,
You know, I'm sorry. Were you about to? I don't
no,
want to
no, no.
interrupt. I was just gonna say you have a very interesting perspective in the sense that you have your own strong brand, and you're also in the TTRPG community, and
Mhm.
you know honestly, I feel like if you never played the other TTRPG in your life, you'd be fine. But like you're also in this space, which is really awesome. I have to ask, as somebody that's not as like dependent on the space as some others in your peer group, what are there any things that you note about the space that you find particularly troubling, or like just is there anything about
Mm.
the TTRPG community that you think we could learn some lessons from other TikTokers, or just from having created your own brand, if that makes any sense?
In the TTRPG space, I think the biggest area of opportunity that I've seen comes from and this is, mind you, this is from somebody from the outside looking in, really,
Yeah.
because I just got into this space. I've been playing TTRPGs for 15 years, so I've been playing D&D since second edition, all the way through. I didn't get into the social media TTRPG space until, you know, within the last year or so. um, with that being said, I understand that a lot of these people have worked together for a long time. They've been, you know, collaborating for a long time. Unfortunately, there is a sense of like clicks, and a sense of like these little pockets of like, oh, these creators do their own thing, and anybody who tries to get close really isn't, not that they're not embraced, but they're always held at a distance.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of that I've noticed that I'm like, it's kind of annoying, if anything, because at the end of the day, like I said, it's like, for fuck's sakes, like I'm 31, I ain't got fucking time for this shit. If I don't like you, you're gonna know I don't like you, and I'm not gonna have to pretend, or try to exclude you from some weird little club that I have of people that I've been working with. Like, no, if I'm not gonna like you, it's because you're a shit person, not because you're trying to come in my space. That's dumb to me.
Yeah.
I love meeting new people. I love the inclusivity of it. But I think that's the one thing that I think is the biggest pain point for me.
Yeah, I do have to say, particularly from your content, like you're just a very enduring individual, and it's kind of nice to see somebody from the outside looking into the space going, "Oh, you guys could open the gates a little
Yeah,
bit."
and I've been open with those individuals that I've seen it with. I've had conversations with them. I've talked to them, and some people I want to believe didn't realize it and like
Mm.
truly weren't aware that they were doing it, because I get it. I've done it without thinking about it. I've been guilty of it. Sometimes it's like, okay, this is my core group of friends, like my close, keep close to my heart type of friends, and somebody from the outside in is trying to blend in. There is a little bit of standoffishness that can happen sometimes. It's like, oh, new person, I don't know you. I'm willing to know you, but it takes time. It takes a
Gotta
little bit of time.
gotta protect the tribe. Like, yeah,
Got to protect the tribe type of thing.
yeah. I mean, especially there's a lot just happening all the time, in all the spaces, but uh, but you know what? That kind of brings us to the point. We've been going at this for 30 minutes. We have some standardized questions that I think that we need to start getting into. And the first one is a potential heartbreaker, but we're gonna do it anyway. So
Oh boy.
there is a war going on in the TTRPG community
Okay.
between those of us who see these as just storytelling devices
Okay.
that you take, you roll, they tell the story.
Mhm.
And then there are those who see dice as the forbidden crotch, and they put them in their mouths and they crunch the die. And I know that there are edible dice, but they say that's crunching dice. They want to crunch dice. Crunching is
A very different
specifically,
thing.
yes, crunching is specifically with non-edible dice. We've got the one of I have like imaginary wanted poster list of like most notable crotchers, and we got one in the chat. Moulin Rouge, I see you.
Mhm.
So I have to ask, Jonathan, what side of this war are you on? Are you on team Dice Defenders, or are you on team Stop the or are you on team Crotch Crew, I guess?
Launch crew. No, that's tricky. I
I mean,
so
crotching is a choking hazard, a
so
dental hazard. Just
yeah, I love dice. I love my dice. I enjoy my clicky clacks. And I think narratively speaking, I do see them as both, unfortunately. Because there are some of these that I'm like, I know what that feels like in my mouth specifically because it's my favorite one.
oh,
And there's other ones where I'm like, just based on the color and the design, I was like, I remember every nat one that you fucking rolled, or every nat 20 that you've ever rolled. So I think that there's a world where these can coexist and these two ideas can share a space, being mutually exclusive.
no.
It's almost
I'm
like
sorry.
there's a third side, Noir, that you ignore every time you ask this question.
All right, I forgot the crotch responsibly people.
Be
You can
crunch
crunch
responsible.
responsibly.
Yeah, the ones in the middle who refuse to choose a side
I'm not going to impugn upon your right to crunch.
because
Wish
they're
it?
cowards.
Damn. Damn Noir. On February, on Black History. Wait a minute. Hold on. That doesn't work.
Hold up.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Damn.
My melanin just starts to leave me.
Oh shit, my credit score's going up.
Oh no! I can drive safely at night.
I've been pre-approved for a home loan. Uh,
Why did life just get so much easier? All of a
0%
sudden?
APR for the first 10 months.
I can wear a hoodie safely.
Oh, my dad texted me.
Oh my
My bad.
God.
He says he's proud of me. Oh,
No, that's definitely a trick.
uh,
Oh God! So it looks like we've got a crotch responsibly individual. So that means I got to give you the punishment question.
damn.
Here we go.
Okay.
You get to play any TTRPG game with any 5 people that are alive.
Shit.
You do not count towards the 5. You get to choose who's the GM and what system you're playing. Who are the 5 people you're playing with? Only caveat is they have to be alive.
That's fine. That's fine. I love and Anita and I were talking about this before you showed up, Noir, because we were punctual. But we were I get it. It's February. It's
Black people can't be late in February. Whenever we show up, very much like wizards.
I was gonna mention.
That's exactly where we're supposed to be.
I don't remember Gandalf the Black, but Gandalf the Air Force Ones. So
tips.
Gandalf in a puff jacket. So funny.
Just crossing over a ball. Just breaking his ankle.
Just fucking swish. Oh, that's so funny.
I'll fly, you fools.
It's just Steph Curry. Oh God, so 5 people.
Yeah.
My GM, it's got to be Brennan. For various reasons, and I have yet to have the chance to tell them this. But I've told everybody that I've met so far from Dimension 20, which thank God I've been able to meet quite a few of them, or at the very least talk to them online and befriend them that way. Had played a very pivotal role in me staying alive. I discovered them end of 2019, beginning of 2020, when I was going through a very difficult time in my life with big life changes and relationships ending, and just this very dark time where I felt very alone. And I discovered D20, and I binged everything. I devoured their content, notably on Sleeping City.
Yeah.
Brennan has a love for the city that he grew up in, the same way that I do for Seattle. So I grew up in Seattle, and he talks about New York the way that I talk about Seattle. And so really connected on that. And I just love the entire experience. Never been to New York. I have a New York accent that pops up every now and again. It's fucking wild. But that would be my DM, Brennan Lee Mulligan. As far as the players go, I'm getting to playing a game with him already. But I would love to have Gabe Hicks. Would love a Bria. Iffy, because Iffy's fucking hilarious to me. I would have Zach Oyama, because Zach is just a phenomenal human. Emily Axford. And I know that that's a lot of like D20 crew, and no disrespect to Critical Role or anybody else. They also do phenomenal jobs, but like D20 is my thing. And that's what really propelled me to be like, oh shit, I want to be in this space outside of the stuff that I want to do. I want to get my foot in the door and like create TTRPG content. But they, to me, are pinnacle of comedy and storytelling. So I think that would be my.
That's a good ass table. That's a good ass table. I got beef with Iffy, and I'll never let it go. I played a couple of games of Among Us with Iffy, and he always outed me, even if I wasn't the trainer.
Damn.
So it's personal. I can't do anything to that man. His pecs on the sides of my head. But he
Yo,
gonna get his one day. He gonna get his one.
if you see this, let me just tell you, like, finally got to meet him in person at PAX U. Wonderful human being. I didn't realize Iffy was that thick,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
cold peanut butter thick.
yeah. It's a lot.
It's a lot. It was great. I was like, damn. Pulled me in for a hug. I was like, damn, I've never felt safer and in danger at the same time. Like,
I was like, could you quit letting people know that people can look like this?
yeah, like fam,
You are
come on
fucking up.
now.
You fucking it up for the rest of us.
Yeah, I've been trying to tell people this is just genetics and you can't change it. You out here looking like that, and like, and I gotta put work in and shit.
God, I'm so sick of these handsome nerds.
These motherfuckers fucking be ugly. Damn.
Right, tone it down. It's
Yeah.
what I'm just kidding.
Love you,
What,
Biffy.
what game are you playing at that table?
Oh yeah. I've gotten the chance to play a lot of new systems recently that I hadn't before. Notably Monsters of the Week. Big fan of Monsters of the Week.
Great game.
It's so good. We did a playthrough of Eldritch Automata, which is Eldritch Horrors meets like Gundam. Super fucking cool.
Oh, that sounds sick.
It's so fun. A little crunchy. Need to work out some details, but they're getting it. God, I almost just want to say, here's the problem too. Like, I keep thinking from the concentrator standpoint, not from just a fun standpoint. So I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, like 5th edition would be like the best because people would understand better. Fuck that. If I had to do a system, masks, I think masks would be fun because I've gotten to see it played, but I haven't played it myself. And I think they've got a bunch of cool player handbooks that would be very interesting to play, especially with that table.
Yeah, that
Masks
would
good.
be cool.
Yeah,
I do love math. The Marvel Multiverse RPG started to take mass place in terms of superhero TTRPGs for me, but Mask is still a classic. Ooh, that gives us our follow-up question, which is, you are God Emperor of the TTRPG scene. Any 3 things you want to have happen, no matter how big, no matter how small, you snap your fingers and it is phenomenal cosmic power, whatever living space you got right now.
Yeah. Every nat 1 that you roll, your die immediately implodes and you get a fresh new die. Okay, because that bitch is on some shit. I'm gonna need a new one. Okay, that's number 1. I can't be having these die fucking me up like that and not facing consequences.
We've done this show for 100+ episodes, and a lot of the wishes end up being wishes we've heard before. No one has ever wished for that.
Well, they should have been wishing that shit a long time ago. Okay, like, especially when it's an important ass moment. You're like, I got this. I got a plus 15 to this. We Gucci. Nat 1. You raggedy bitch. Like, so that'd be number 1.
Yeah, I got a coffin for the ones that fail me because they're dead to me.
Yeah. You're gonna need a big ass coffin for the amount of these fuckers that are dead to me. Number 2. I like the rule of, and it's becoming widely more acceptable. But with sorcerers, and this was first seen again by Brendan Lee Mulligan. But the stacking and expanding Wild Magic Surge.
Yeah.
Love that so much. And also, I counted on cantrips as well. I know you're. Yes. Yeah, because some people try to get around that by like, well, I'm just going to use my cantrips. Nah, bitch. Every single spell, cantrip or otherwise, counts towards that. I've even seen some people homebrew it a little bit more, and you have to roll based on the spell level. So 3rd level spell slot, 3 rolls on the die for Wild Magic Surge.
I love Wild Magic Sorcerers.
Wild Magic is so good. It's fucking delicious.
I just don't like not having control over my shit like that.
Let go. Chaos reigns.
Give into it. Here's the problem with me. I'm a gambler. I love gambling. You give me a deck of many things, drawing every one of them. I don't give a shit. I know what's coming, and I'll still do it. Number 3. And this is a hot take. This is a big one. This
Okay.
is probably the most controversial thing that I will ever say in my life. Get the fucking Ethereum out of D&D.
Ooh,
We don't
yeah.
or Electrum, whatever the fuck it's called. Copper, silver, gold, and platinum. That's all you need. This Electrum bullshit, I don't know what you are. I don't know why you're in there. I don't know what your conversion rate is. I don't even know what kind of metal you are. I don't need you. Fuck out of here. You're confusing me, okay? Those are my three. Those are my three rules.
Oh,
Otherwise, everything is fine.
oh, I dig them. I dig them.
Fucking Electrum bullshit.
I
So stupid.
I feel like there's a reason you're pissed off about Electrum.
I am. And let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I'm pissed off at Electrum, okay? Because I had a group of friends who were like, gotta do by the book. We gotta do by the book. They would always give us an arbitrary amount of Electrum. And it's infuriating because they would never give me enough to be like, oh shit, I can convert this now to the next current. No, it'd be like one Electrum. I'd be like, bitch, just either don't give me any or just give me a gold. Like, why are we playing around like that? So, I'd end up with like 27 Electrum, but nothing ever costs 27 Electrum or any Electrum. It's either silver or gold. So why is this bitch in the middle? Why do I have a middleman for a currency that isn't being used anywhere? Shit's weighing
It's,
me down.
it's like when you go to the cashier, they just give you way too many pennies. It's just like this is bullshit.
Like, you gave me 24 cents in pennies. I see 2 dimes in that bitch. You could have, but no.
Oh, now this is the point where we ask you what is your signature as a player? Like, what do you bring to the
Mm,
table that you feel like you bring better than others who might be in that same seat?
I love it's a very fine line. It's a very fine line in any game because it can either be too much or not enough, but blending comedy with serious RP. Some
Yes.
people either go too far into the bit and it's like, oh, you're just a goof character. You don't care about anything. You're just a bit. You don't take anything seriously.
Yeah.
Or you're too serious trying to make jokes. And then it's like, oh, this isn't that character. That doesn't fit with the persona that you're trying to portray. So it seems off when they try to be jokey. Um, I love that fine line of playing a character. The way I've described it to people, because it's the best way to, I love being that Ryan Reynolds-esque character. Because when Ryan Reynolds has been in serious movies, he's fucking knocked it out of the park.
Yeah.
But we also know him as Mark with a Mouth. We know him to be chatty. We know him to be suave, charming, goofy, dumb. So I love that fine line of being able to do both. And I've been very grateful, thanks to my comedic timing, thanks to just my sense of humor and the way that I grew up and all that kind of stuff, that I've been able to nail that in the characters that I portray. Notably Mal in Monsters of the Week with Tales of Novum. Check it out. Um, in a new campaign that we're doing with Tales of Novum, actually, that I can't discuss what it is or who the players are, but the character again, phenomenally right in that sweet spot. So and again, and thankful too for my scene partners. Because I wouldn't be able to do what I do if I didn't know that I could trust them or that they trusted me. So the fact that they trust me to not push the bit too far, to not derail from something that's critical or important, helps guide me to know, okay, that's where my boundaries are, and that's the lane that I can stay in without feeling like I'm too much of one or the other.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Um, have you have you seen that fail? Like, have you ever seen somebody go for that comedic character that is capable of being serious? Have you ever seen somebody go for that niche and like kind of fall on their face? And like, are you able to recognize why other players might be unsuccessful in that? And what advice would you give them?
Yeah, I've seen it in mostly my home games. Um, and I've seen it in other people playing, again, from an outsider's perspective, looking in, not sitting
Mhm.
at that table, but watching it. And here's what I'll tell people: stop trying to be another Deadpool. Stop trying to be another Jack Sparrow. Stop trying to be these things that already exist. Using cliches or memorizing lines or memorizing little quips that you can use doesn't help. If I wanted to watch Jack Sparrow, I would watch the movies, right? I want to watch your character. I want to see what you're bringing and what you're creating. And it's okay to explore that without having to copy paste from something that already is. But that's the hard part, right? That's the incredibly difficult part. I love this character and I want to create something like it. How do you do that without just copying and mirroring it? Well, that's character creation, and that's talking to your DM and exploring that space, and session 0, session 0.5 if need be, and really leaning into your people at the table. So my advice is it's okay to improvise, and it's okay to improvise and fail at it. I mean, that's the only way you're going to learn,
Yeah.
Comedic timing is about learning. So that would be my advice.
Now that you think about it, I can't begin to count how many Jokers I've played with, how many Cap Sparrows I've played with. Like, yeah, no, it's okay to be inspired, but be inspired by multiple things.
Right.
Like, just grab something that you like from
Grab a little bit of
characters.
everything if you want and mesh it together and make something new. But
like, don't come into the game going, you want to know how I got these scars, because
yeah,
Otter Pops. The answer is Otter Pops.
always Otter Pops.
What's an Otter Pop?
It's the
What?
popsicle with the
No,
plastic
ain't
on
no
either
way.
side. So that
It's a little.
Yeah. It's an Otter Pop.
No, hold up. No, we're gonna explore this. You just what, Noir? What did you guys call them?
We just called them pops.
Freezies.
Acceptable. No,
we
Freezies.
just-
That's
That's me.
that's above our
yeah, that's a
our
little
tax bracket. Freezies.
free.
The fuck?
I was a freezy kid.
Yeah, well, you can tell.
Damn.
Damn.
Damn. They were just ice pops as mental. No, we called them Otter Pops. Yeah. I also remember making chocolate milk and then pouring it in ice cubes,
Yeah.
ice cube trays, and then the little toothpick in them so we can have little
Y'all remember,
chocolate.
y'all remember those little juices that were shaped almost
The
like
barrel?
grenades? Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. As soon as you
Yeah.
started doing the hand movement, I was
Yeah.
like, I know. That shit tasted like battery acid.
Oh, it was so good though. It fueled a lot of mistakes in my life.
Damn. I
uh,
remember those.
well, kind of taking a step back, just I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you, do you have any advice for up and coming content creators, be they in the TTRPG scene or otherwise? Just like a lot of people get on TikTok, they do a couple of videos, they don't get the viral hits, and then they just kind of pack it in. Like, what advice do you have for people that are trying to make something happen on TikTok?
Quit. Get the fuck out of my space. No, I'm just kidding. Fucking with y'all. I'm just kidding. It's only one fucking dog in this house. It's me. No, it's as far as God, it's I got lucky. And I will always say this, I will always tell people this. I got very lucky. Right video, right time. The algorithm picked it up and it blew up, and I'm very fortunate. I am not a common story. I am not the average tale when it comes to content creation and the trajectory that it takes. And even a lot of the people that you see on TikTok that blew up, a lot of them were posting long before that. And again, one video is all it took for it to go off. So my recommendation is, one, for the love of God, have a day job. And I mean that truly. Not because you're not good, but because I know a lot of people are like, well, I'm just going to quit my job and I'm going to fully devote to this, and that's the only way I'm going to succeed. You got bills to pay. You got shit. to take care of. Like, take care of you first. Content creation can be something you work up to, but be responsible with it for the love of God. You know, I see too many people struggling and being like, oh, I just did this or that, and I gave up all this so I could do this. And I'm like, should you have though?
I
Like,
bought a ring light and quit my job.
yeah, like some people are like, I took out a loan, I got like $5,000 worth of equipment, and I'm like, oh, cool. How many followers do you have? I just opened my first account. Oh boy, okay,
Oh.
all right,
Ooh.
cool. But for those that do want to post, consistency and insistency. You have to be consistent with how you post, and you have to be insistent with your content. Um, try different things. There's a niche there for everybody in some way, shape, or form. I promise you. Look at me, Latinos against spooky shit. I didn't think that there was a niche for a demographic of people being against spooky things, and here I am. So just try different things. And I know that you, at some point in time, are going to be like, hey, this is the one thing that I want to do, and nothing's going to change my mind. And I love that and respect that. But content creation is also about evolution. You have to be willing to change and evolve. Um, Latinos against spooky shit. I had to evolve. My format and my content has evolved in the way that it presents now. And it doesn't have to be a huge change. It can be small or little, but you have to be willing to compromise those changes. And understand that what was popular a month ago ain't going to always be popular, now. So change with the times.
You're
I
not
think
always going to be the egg guy.
I was just about to say
You're not always going to be
you
the egg
might
guy.
be the egg guy.
Hey, you might be the egg guy for a little bit. There was like a hot week where I was the egg guy, and I was like, fuck, 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 fuck. Because I don't know if you know this, I only found this out because I was an egg guy. There is an egg guy on TikTok, and what he does is he'll fry an egg and flip it, and every day he'll add another egg and flip it until he fucks it up, and then he starts over and builds up back again. And that's all he does. That's the content. I was like, fuck that. First of all, eggs were expensive as shit during COVID. Okay. I ain't got the money for this. I don't have the funds.
It's that guy that makes the pasta with the extra egg every day.
What?
There's a pasta guy on TikTok that makes pasta with eggs, and he adds an extra egg every day. And like, I think he was at several hundred at a certain point. It's like, what's going on? Apparently he takes all of the pasta that he makes and he donates it to like local food banks and stuff, so it doesn't go to waste.
Good.
Or like soup kitchens. But
see,
yeah.
I'd be dumb and I wouldn't even think of that. You just see me in the morning with 37 eggs crying as I'm trying to eat them all. I don't want any more. Oh.
Like, there's a guy on TikTok whose his whole deal is he tries to do a pull-up on things that you can't do a pull, like crackers and pasta,
rubber bands, clothes hangers.
Yeah. And like kudos to you, my guy. Like, you keep getting the bag, but I'm like, that would be my nightmare. It's just it combines all the things I hate: cleaning, buying things, and pull-ups. Like, nothing about that.
I can't even do a normal pull-up, let alone
You want me to do
on
a
crackers? The fuck?
pull-up? Yeah.
That's some bullshit. But Shadow, yeah, exactly. Like, there was one time where my content, this was like 4 months ago, maybe. I thought I was fucked. I was like, shit, my content is done for. I don't know if you remember, there was a small period of time where TikTok took away the green screen feature.
Oh shit.
And that's what I use primarily to make my content. It's green screen to put videos up and to create the content over it and all that kind of stuff. They took it away. And I was like, fuck, I'm gonna have to figure out how to use a different platform like CapCut. I spent so much time figuring this shit out. Finally nailed it, only for TikTok to bring back green screen. I was like, you motherfuckers. This is some bullshit. But if anything ever happens, I'm now prepared to do it on something else. So don't be afraid to learn new shit too.
Yeah, TikTok is an absolutely chaotic place. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that kind of goes to show like the creativity of the people that have looked at this platform that is not consistent at all and found a way to tame it.
Yeah.
We got one more question for the half, and then we can go to break if you guys like. Uh, and that is, what is on your TTRPG bucket list? Like, are there any kind of characters you haven't gotten to play that you want to play? Any kind of fights that you've wanted to do, like jumping off a dragon and fighting on the way down? Just anything that you can imagine. What's on your TTRPG bucket list?
I've done so much dumb shit. Man, God, that is a very good question. I have fought so many creatures. I haven't fought a Tarask yet. So that one, I think having multiple raiding parties facing up like a Tarask would be fun. I've yet to be in a PvP tournament, so I think that would be fun. Yeah. Um, so as far as like just gameplay goes, I think those two would be my big ones. Having like a big group battle versus like a big legendary monster or a PvP tournament.
Oh, so
I
I'm
wasn't I
thinking.
was Nikki, I wasn't gonna call that out either. I heard it. I
Yeah, me
recognized it,
too.
and I was like, I was like
Everybody is
Canadian.
commenting on how I say pasta, and I hate it here.
No,
You
Anita.
didn't say pasta.
Set
You said
pasta.
past.
Pasta.
Yeah, like Pastor Raymond. Could you please give a sermon about?
I hate it here so much.
I didn't want to bully you about it. I'm
It
so
was
sorry.
in my head the whole time. I was just like, she say pasta?
I clocked it, and I was like, you know what? English isn't even my first language. Why am I judging?
It's
I was
the
like, they might know another
Canadian.
language. It's the Canadian.
It's the
Yeah, it's the
Canadian.
Canadian. It comes out every now and then. Don't worry.
Everybody is commenting on it, and I hate it here.
Don't worry. I only saw it. I heard it, but my brain translated.
Sir Heckalot, listen, I never claimed to be a good man. Okay, this is y'all's assumption of me.
It's okay. It's okay. I say the word banister funny. Sometimes I say baluster. I don't know why. But anywho, uh when you say a PvP tournament, are you talking like branch tournaments where it's one-on-one until there's only one left? Or are you talking like a battle royale, like a
Either
Hunger Games
or.
type?
I would be fine
Oh,
with either or.
I don't know how that would be run, but that would be so fucking cool.
It would be a battle royale style. First of all, you would have to have some sort of visual. This wouldn't be able to be theater of the mind, because you'd need to know people's positions and places and everything. So it's gonna have to
Yeah.
be Roll20, Owlbear, Tailspire, whatever.
It would have to be a
Um,
huge fucking map too.
It would have to be, or no, not necessarily though. It could be a small arena, and I'm thinking maybe 10 people tops. Or if you wanted to have like a full scale, that would just take so fucking
Yeah, I
long.
know,
I would only do it because this is a pet peeve of mine. This is a pet peeve of mine in any TTRPG space. If you're in combat and you know your order of operations, you know your initiative order, you know who's going next, and you're seventh. If I get to you and you still don't know what the fuck you want to do after 30 minutes of this shit, what the fuck have you been doing this whole time? Okay? Like,
Negative points if I clock you on your phone.
yeah. Honestly, I'll make you roll disadvantage. I don't give a shit. But that's wild to me. Because like at any point in time, I have 3 things that I want to do or can do, and I just have them in my pocket in case some shit gets fucked up in my plan. Because I get it. If you're seventh, the battlefield changes, the dynamics change. You got to pivot and change your plan up a little bit. You know, maybe a friendly's in your line of fire. Figure it the fuck out. Have a backup plan. I don't give a shit. You should know your character by now. You're level 10. You don't have an excuse. Okay, you should know your skills.
I built it for this one shot. I don't know what I'm doing.
You shut the hell up and you learn your character. No.
Yeah. At that point, pick something. I
love
don't care. Do an attack. That's what I got for you.
I want to see him. I think a battle royale might need 2 GMs, honestly. But I think I would love to see that though.
I think I've ran a table of 8 people before. And that's a nightmare. Don't get me wrong. I fucking hated everything about it. I can do it. I don't want to. I don't like it. But I think if it's 8 people of PvP and I'm just there to facilitate, could be easier than like 8 people of PvP plus PvE and everything else.
Yeah.
Um, so
10's my record. Do not recommend.
can't even imagine.
Do not
Initiative,
recommend.
fucking combat must have taken forever.
It was so
That's a
long.
3-hour combat session easily.
It
Yeah.
was so long. Well, it either takes forever or it takes a very short time because they just wipe anything that I throw at them.
Which I would prefer though, because that means
Yeah.
that they know their fucking characters and they know what to do.
I the combat in 5th edition is just so boring though. Like I'm wondering what system would work best for this. Like one where people could die easy, hopefully. Like a Call of Cthulhu battle tournament would be man.
I would do if we're looking for just killing easy, Monster of the Week
Yeah.
would be the easiest, honestly, with all the different playbooks. Yeah, I think Monster of the Week would be probably the best.
That I'm not a
Even because I was thinking, I was like, oh, maybe Pathfinder. Even Pathfinder, too crunchy.
That is way too quick. There's way too much that people can do in response.
Yeah. Like something like Morkborg would probably work because you got characters that die fairly easily.
Yeah.
And it's pretty rules light.
Heck, it's like Pathfinder would take years.
I
forgot how we got on this topic.
It was the US bucket list question, and the answer is correct. Tournament.
And then a colossal giant battle, like with a Terresk, that'd be
fun.
I've never had a Terresk dropped as anything other than punishment.
Here's how I think it would work out. You would have 3 to 4 teams of 4 to 5 people, and you would go at them in waves. And when players backed out of a wave, that was your one chance to use a short rest, hit dice, replenish short spells, buy some equipment if you have, the money for like just simple things, switch back in.
Yeah.
So
there is a big monster that I've been wanting to employ in a game for a while, which is the Elder Brain Dragon or the Elliptic Dragon. That thing is just it's gross. It's gross. But that has been our first half. I think we've been at this for 1 hour and 12 minutes. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and take our break, about a 10-minute break, and then we'll come back for the Dark Roast, which is honestly just more of the same. We just gave it a cool sounding name.
All right. We will be right back. We'll see you soon. And we're back.
Are we though?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Yes,
we are. All of a sudden.
Lamia was wondering if you were going to schedule the Starcross while you were on break.
You made sure to pick up that comment when we came back, didn't you?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
How's it going? How you doing? How you doing, chat? How you feeling? Hope you're doing well. Hope your Saturday is good. This is the Dark Roast.
That's how we started the Dark Roast? Okay.
Yeah, sure. Why not? Be nice.
That's fine. Welcome to the Dark Roast, everybody. It's the same as the first, but we gave it a cool name. We've got some questions that we just start off right away with in the Dark Roast, so let's just get straight to it.
Okay.
Now, this is something that we like to call petty prime time, where if there is anything you want to get off your chest, or if you want to subtweet in real life, this is where we give you the space to do that. And of course, we always model the behavior that we ask for out of guests. So, Anita, why don't you kick us off with our first petty prime time?
I gotta think of the petty.
Wow.
Why?
Now, any petty or like TTRPG petty?
Any petty at all.
I got you. I'll kick this shit off.
Oh, okay. Well,
This
this
Okay.
is the first.
this,
This is
this
the
ain't
first.
this ain't even a hill that I'll die on. This is a mountain. This is a peak. Okay. Look at me, chat. Look at me. I want you to look into these dark sullen eyes. Fuck your small towns. Okay. I don't give a shit about them. Okay. I don't give a fuck if you've got the 125th annual centennial biannual grandpappy day. I don't give a fuck about your roots and traditions. It's stupid. Don't you dare tell me this is the best place in the world. Where else have you lived? Nowhere? Then you have nothing to base that off of. Move out of your town. Go somewhere else. Explore the world a little bit. Okay? There are so many things out there better than the shit little town of 500 people fucking in the middle of butt fuck Montana. Yeah, I'll call you out, Montana. Fuck you guys too. There's a wide variety of spices outside of salt and pepper that you can find in other parts of the world. There's white pepper. That might be more up your
Wow.
alley. There's mustard, there's turmeric, there's cayenne, you know. There's things out there that exist. Just try the city. But some of these damn city folk, fuck you. Okay. You and your podunk town, you wouldn't exist if we didn't eat food. So shut up. That's all I got.
I'm gonna hop on that one. 'Cause this happened recently. Put some respect on Central Time's name. I listen.
Man, fuck y'all too.
Fuck y'all. All right, I'm so sick of Pacific Standard Time being the only time like we're all gonna meet at 7. No, that is 7 for you. Like for me, that's 5 p.m. So like let's put some respect on Central Time is all I'm trying to say. We out here, like I get it. I get it. Like for podunk towns, like Southern Illinois. Yeah, I'm coming at Southern Illinois. Yeah, fuck them. But like Chicago, we deserve the respect. Put Central Time in the meetings. It's
I
the
will s-
middle of everything.
I will say this though. Some central states are a little fucked up because you move 3 feet to your right, you all of a sudden Eastern time. Y'all bitches need to make your mind up. Okay. You can't be having 1 foot in each place. Commit to the bit.
Well, that's stupid places that don't have their shit together, like Indiana. Indiana is a hot. I can hock a loogie and it'll end up in Indiana, but for
Okay.
some reason,
But that's the
they're
problem though. You
Eastern
still
time.
close to Indiana. So y'all still like that's what I'm
not
saying.
my fault. Chicago did everything it's supposed to do. All right, just because the rest of the Midwest is lacking, that's not
We
our
can't
fault.
help Tennessee is a long state. Man, fuck Tennessee too. Listen, y'all everybody catching strays. I don't give a shit.
The
Birth of
Midwest
country
out here,
music. Fucking
Midwest out here catching strays. Listen, I will fight for Central Time. I will not fight for the Midwest. That's all I'm saying.
that's fair. I'll allow that. That's good.
How about you, Anita? You got anything?
Oh, okay.
I can buy you more time. I got
Please.
shit to say.
I was gonna say I got another one for
I
You
you.
got another one? All right. If
What
you
else
got
you
another
got?
one, my brain's not traveling.
I
in
got one.
hemisphere.
I got one for Anita.
For
Listen,
me?
sometimes Canadians sound Canadian, and you just gotta let that live. All right. Sometimes in a boot, it's gonna slip out. Sometimes a pasta, it's gonna happen. But you know what? Canadians, they're just like us. They're
You're gonna
people.
apologize for shit that you don't gotta apologize for.
Yeah,
And that's okay. I love my Canadian brothers and sisters.
yeah, leave Canadians alone. They're almost
Yeah.
normal.
Canada is a nice
No, you're right.
Canada is this nice, sweet apartment with like an old couple that loves to bake cookies and shit. They got a little bit of mildew, but like that happens. But they're above a meth house. We're the meth house.
So true. And I feel like everything bad that Canada has comes from us.
Yeah,
Like,
US be talking about how
I don't know. There's a reason the Geneva Conventions exist. And, well,
that's fair.
yeah, that is. But I almost feel like Canadians take that as a mark of pride that they're wilding out so hard in World War I that they had to invent the Geneva Convention.
Listen, what is it? The devil shivers when a good man goes to war. When Canada got in the mix, they went, oh, bet. Okay.
Oh shit.
Yeah. Yeah. Y'all
Yeah.
don't know.
There's a lot
Okay.
of well, there's also a lot of colonial mindset in Canada that it's very problematic.
It's mostly in Western provinces, I think, right? Or is
Uh,
it
it's kind of systemic across the board. The way we
is it
treat our indigenous folk
so you
is
guys are just American in a different font?
it kind of, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
from what I hear, this is there is a TikTok going around that's right now that speaks to my soul, which is like I'm sick of hearing about all these countries that'll pay you to live there. I want to know, do they like niggas? And like that, and like that's how I feel. So like when I've done research on like what's it like to be a black person that lives in this country, like the response that I usually get from black folks in Canada is like, oh, they are racist, but not at us. And like, I hate that that's like an appeal,
That yeah, the fact that it's like, oh yeah, we cool, but only because they hate somebody else more.
right?
It's like, what? What you mean? Like, no, yeah, they're still not fans of us, but like
But the
Indians
energy,
though.
yeah,
Ooh.
their energy is going towards somebody else. And like,
Yeah, we
I
still catch strays, but
you can catch a breather. Like you can go speeding and you might get a warning even. Like what? That's
yeah,
that's enough to make me move to your country.
I was gonna say the fucked up part is that we're like, damn, that's cool as shit.
I know, right? I could get pulled over and survive.
Wild, wild.
That's so sad.
Yeah, what's your guys' mortality rate on standard vehicle pulled-overs? Like what? It's like, yeah, don't worry, it's just a question I ask everybody.
It's just like, oh, somebody gonna die, but it's probably not gonna be you. Like, well,
You know what?
can't
Ooh.
save everybody. No, that's terrible.
That's terrible.
Uh, but yes, do you have a petty for us?
My petty.
Nita?
My petty is
Say it with your full chest. Put the hard R on it.
Let's get if we're going to get canceled, let's go out.
let's go on the blaze of glory.
I'll say it with you.
If you agree to something, like
Ooh,
if you agree to schedule something or put something in your schedule, like for a commitment, like for a term commitment, like I need to be in this place at this time. Honor that commitment. If you say that you're going to be free, do your best to be free. If not,
I feel that.
I
Feel that in
just
my soul.
want a consistent game schedule, folks. I just want to play games with my friends.
Yeah. Like I get life happens.
Yeah.
Everybody gets life happens. But when life happens every single time,
It gets on the calendar and it stays on the calendar.
yeah.
Heck.
I knew who was coming. I was just waiting. Like, no, that's why I didn't put anything on the calendar yet. Because I want to honor it when I put it on there.
Damn. They coming at you.
Listen, man.
And in February too. Y'all.
I know, right? Like, what is no? Look, but just wait till we get to our. You know what? Let's just get to the segment so I can just take this beating.
Okay.
I'm just gonna jump into it. We have another segment here that we like to call TTRPG confessionals, where if you have a tendency you bring to the table that might not be the best, this is where you can confess, and we will give you a penance, and you will go forth and sin no more.
Would you like to start, Noir? It sounds like you got something you want to get off your chest.
I have done all my penance, but the audience disagrees. Okay, here is my sin. If I have a character that is built to talk or built to talk their way out of things, I will try to make that happen. And sometimes I just need to stop trying to talk our way out of fights and let fights happen, because sometimes that's where the story's trying to go. So that is my sin. Now you and Anita will go forth and give me a penance, and I will have to do that penance, which I have always done. And then that's then it's your turn to do your sins. So, Anita, do you have a penance for me? I'm getting cooked in the chat. I'm not even reading the chat because I know I'm getting
Oh,
cooked.
don't do shit.
Yeah.
So what's the point?
Or is out here being unaccountable.
No one needs to stop
talking
talking and
keep his word.
So I say I'm not reading the chat, and y'all read the chat to me.
Yeah. The fuck? You said you wasn't reading it, so I'm assuming either you can't or you won't.
I'm gonna say that your penance is
Mhm.
once if it gets to combat and the person that you're in combat with is alive at the end, then you do the okay, now as I was saying, and then like have the conversation after you beat them up.
Okay. Okay.
That's your penance, is to keep, if it gets to combat, keep that person alive so that you can talk at them after the fact.
Okay.
Here's one. Keep talking. Keep doing your thing. But every word is a D4 of damage.
Oh. The character that does this has 4 health, but okay.
Yeah, talk your shit. Is it worth it? You let me know.
Oh my god. All right. Well, that's me. That's my penance.
Oh, okay. So
Noir's penance should just be punishment. What the fuck? In February, even.
wow, more. My sin for this week is I just kind of go for games off vibes. Sometimes I won't really read the rules until I'm already in the thick of it.
You monster.
Wow.
They'll figure it out.
Wow.
They'll figure it out at the moment.
Wow.
Mm. Mm.
Mm.
My penance to you, Anita, is
Mm.
for the next game that you play where you don't know the rules. You have to create a cheat sheet for new players of that system.
That's a good one.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a very good one, actually.
Gotta read the whole book.
I was going to
Make
say
a
that
cheat
one.
sheet.
Yeah.
Even the lore bits that are boring.
Especially the lore. But here, next time you do that, what you're going to do is you're going to start up a new game with a system that you're very familiar with, but none of your players know. And you're not going to teach them about it until you start playing. That way you can see what it's like being on the
I
other
do
side.
that every day.
Damn.
That's just what I do.
Damn.
Oh, I
think
like
it really
Taylor's.
said fuck that.
Make a YouTube short series explaining how to play.
Taylor, I would rather shit my hands and clap. Tell you right now.
Yeah, okay, I can do that, Taylor.
I hate making long form content like that.
Oh, God.
It wasn't even my penance, and I'm like, fuck that shit.
The absolute disdain. There was no hesitation.
Fuck long form.
Fuck that. Oh, and that came from the soul. I felt that.
That was deep. That was
Nikki,
real. That was raw.
Yeah, Nikki, I played it a game with Anita where I didn't know how to play at all, and I still didn't after the campaign ended. I was there to be cute and flirt with D. You're right.
You know what? Live your truth, Nikki.
I mean, that's what Cypher system is built on. You don't need to know
I
the
finally
rules.
figured out how to play Cypher System. it's a
There's
little
some
convoluted.
games.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's some games that can be a little confusing at the beginning, but cheat sheets are important.
Yeah, yeah. That's why Nita will make one.
Shotty clipped it. I love that.
Oh,
Screen.
they are petty with their clips.
Oh, that's fine. Listen, no, you don't. I have some very out of context clips from my chat that, yeah, I get it. My sin.
Yeah.
This is a hot take, actually, and I can get a lot of grief from this. I will just preface by saying that this comes from a place as a storyteller, as a GM, as a narrator, and somebody who knows how to build a story. I will often, as a player and a DM, fudge my rolls.
I don't mind that personally.
I know you don't, but a lot of people are like, you got to stay true to the dice. You got to remember, it's like, I know, but I know in this moment, even though I just rolled that nat 20, I know that a nat 1 would be so much better for the story. I'm going to lie about it.
Yeah. You know what? Here's my penance. The next time that happens, instead of fudging the roll, request a fail. See how that flies.
Opt into the fail.
You know what? I've started exploring that option more, and I like that. I do like opting to fail instead.
Yeah, like I rolled the 20, but I am going to choose to make this a one if y'all are cool with it. I think I don't know, that has a little bit more swag to it. Like, listen, I could have
Narratively, I like that. I could have chopped your head off, but I dropped my blade last minute. Yeah,
yeah.
that is good.
I like that idea. The fact that natural 20s can give you complete narrative control over something
Oh,
instead of like
Instead of it being a best case scenario, what you want it to happen will happen. It's a whatever you want to happen, good or bad, narratively.
yes.
narratively.
That's good.
I like that.
That's a new
I
homebrew rule that I'm gonna fucking implement for sure.
Yeah, that kind of completely reframes the natural 20 in general. I
Yeah.
think that's better.
Whatever you want to have happen narratively on a natural 20 will happen. Good or bad. It doesn't have to
Yeah.
be the best thing ever. It could be the most narratively consistent thread.
That's good. Look at us
Okay.
coming up with new shit.
Look at that. That's called game design.
That's called ADHD.
Yep.
You're not wrong.
All right. Okay.
I was just going to say that my penance, because I never really came up with a penance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
My penance is going to be Heart of the Cards. Heart of the Cards. You're gonna go an entire session and just trust the die roll to be what is the most like you trust
Just
the
let the
dice.
dice tell the story.
Let the dice tell the story. Do story
Oof.
dice. And
It's
they
been
did
a
me.
hot minute.
Okay. Okay. All right. So that's gonna bring us to our next segment. Before we ask you what is your signature as a player, now we would like to know what is your signature as a GM. What do you bring to the GM seat that you feel like you do better than most?
Ooh. So, I have not had my mainstream GM debut yet. I have not GM'd anything publicly, only in private games. I've been a player in APs, but I've not been on the other side of the table yet. But that is coming soon with Tabletop Tempest being a thing, and with just finalized the casting for my game Breaking Prometheus, which is based in Candela Obscura and that system. That'll be my GM AP debut, which I'm very excited for. I'm not sure if this is something that I can take claim to fame for. Because I feel like a lot of GMs do it. I feel like my ability to pivot and make something up to just tie a story together where like, fuck, my players really fucked this up. I gotta make something up that bridges this gap now. I've been able to do some really fun stuff in stories to where my players were like, "Oh, you had this plan the whole time?" I'm like, "Yes." You not once fucked up any of my carefully planned encounters from the last 6 to 8 months. This was by design. So I'm really proud that I've been able to create these narrative contingencies that feel real to my players and that they don't realize that was a pit maneuver that I had to fucking pull out of my ass to try to keep the story going. So I very much enjoy that. And I enjoy the challenge. I know people are like, oh, they broke my game. I like it when they break my game. Because a lot of the times the shit that they come up with is a lot more fun than what I had originally planned. I'm like, oh, okay, interesting. Write that for later. Okay.
No, you're my favorite kind of DM because it just means that there's more world. If I've had GMs where it's just like there's a door here, and I'm like, well, I'd want to go on the door, and they're like, listen, I don't have anything planned on the side of that door.
Yeah.
So can you just not
Can
go
you just
to
not,
that door?
dude?
And I'm like, oh,
listen.
okay, yeah.
I've introduced NPCs that were like one-shot NPCs you'll never see again. I'm like, oh, what's their name? And I'm like, oh, that's right, here we go. You know, have to give him a whole name. It's like, oh, where's he from? Oh, you motherfuckers, you're gonna adopt this son of a bitch, aren't you? You know, and it's little things like that, but I love it. I enjoy it.
Yes.
Here's probably another sin of mine actually as a GM. I'm terrible at taking notes for myself. The absolute fucking worst.
Same.
Shout out to all the note takers out there.
God
you
love
are
you.
a GM's best friend.
You are a godsend. Honestly, though, watching y'all put together shit from like writing shit out, but putting it together before I did because I don't have it written out is some of my favorite thing. Especially when you try to call me out on it and be like, is this person doing this thing because of this thing? And I'm like, when the fuck did that happen? Oh, session 3? Oh shit. Oh yeah, no, that is what I'm doing. Actually, thanks for helping me figure it out.
I love the conspiracy theorist players as much as I love the note takers because they're just like, I know what you're up to, and I'm just like, oh, good, because I don't. Yes, let me know what your theories.
Yeah, it's so good.
It's just there are certain types of players like. Do GMs have favorite players? I like to think of it like parents with their children. Of course we have favorites.
100%. 100%. And here's the thing though. You ask me that at a table, I'll tell you. I'll point to him. I won't give a shit. I'll hurt feelings. I'll let you know. Okay? Maybe if you didn't take 45 fucking minutes to use an action in a combat, you'd also be my favorite. But yet here we are. So that's not on me. That's on you at that point in time, honestly.
There's no gentle parenting happening at Jonathan's table.
Oh, no. No soft parenting here. At all. Do you have a favorite? Yeah, I do. Absolutely. And it's probably Dom. Because he's the newest, yet he knows his character. It's a paladin. He knows his shit. Easy to play with. I love Dom.
Smite all crits. Very simple.
Smite, yeah.
Our friend May in chat says, my group has collectively decided who the favorite is. It's Jerry. We know this.
Man.
Everybody's favorite in our Cypher system group was May. Everyone was just like,
oh,
just bring May back.
I think that's the question that might start some shit, which is just asking our viewers watching now or on the VOD, who's your GM's favorite?
Damn. I also want you to understand something though. Just because somebody's my favorite does not mean I won't kill their character.
No.
if anything, there's probably a higher chance that I'll kill them.
That explains things, Noir.
Yeah, it's because I love y'all.
Damn.
That I must hurt you.
Damn.
Listen, I think
there's a lot to unpack there.
Yeah, I think there's a lot to look into of people who choose the GM after a while. It's like they're definitely working some shit out. Oh God. This got dark. Dark roast though.
It's a dark roast. Yep, there we go.
It's true.
You brought it back.
True to
Yeah.
the name for once. Now we have another segment that I have not been the best at remembering, but I remembered this still around, and that is the TTRPG commandments. We have been asking our guests to give us one commandment that they would employ to the TTRPG space. I'll read you the ones that we have so far, and you
Okay.
can give us one of your own. And some folks have chosen to write these biblically, but you don't have to. Here we go. Sarah's commandment, aka Hype Goblin. Everyone at the table should be just as invested in other people's story as their own. Pardon? My commandment, the perfect table is one where no one person's fun is more important than the others. Amelia Tyler says, "Thou shalt create fun experiences with players less experienced than you without the GM asking you to." Dr. Emily Friedman says, "Thou shalt play many different games with many different people, and thou shalt not treat people as things." Alec the Bard says, "Prioritize telling a good story as a group instead of as an individual, and thou shalt give your baddies daddy energy." Andre, I said Alex, my bad. Alec, Andre Rivera says, "Thou shalt add thou shalt add to the world you're playing in and not just live in it." Lamia says, "Thou shalt stay connected to their internal experience and communicate actively with the table." Sam Delev, "Thy fun and that of thy fellow players is not wrong." And finally, Drax is, "Both GM and players shall facilitate a moment for each other." So, Jonathan, do you have a testament for us?
Yes.
I feel like I know what this might be already. Let's go.
You don't. I'm gonna hit you with left field again.
Oh, okay, let's go.
Thou shall adopt a small creature and have it be the baby of the party.
This
And
might
and
be
thine will be thy bond. Because nothing brings a party together, I've noticed, like having a small goblin that you adopt, a small dog, a small bird, something small and cute that everybody's like, I would die for this fucking thing in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
So
A
I
love
think
kobold.
this
a
might be
kobold.
our most obeyed commandment without it even have been a commandment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're always trying. Like I'm in an aliens game, and our GM's working so hard to make sure we don't attempt to adopt a xenomorph. But I believe we could do it. I believe we could do it. It's the power of friendship.
In my heart of hearts, I know that it just needs a good cuddle. Like, I bet you get it with a good chinny scritch, it's over.
I mean, you're gonna have to do double the scritch for the mouth
Yeah.
inside, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, we
We're
can
not
make
monsters.
it
They both get it. Damn, what that mouth do? Come here. Like,
happen.
chinny scritches.
You get the forbidden smooches.
The forbidden smooches.
That's nature versus nurture.
Damn.
Uh, but
What if your character is the small animal or creature? Nikki, same. If you decide that you're going to be a Kenku or a little Harangon or anything like that, and you get adopted by the party, congratulations. You are now the proud owner of like 4 to 6 helicopter moms.
that can shoot magic out of their hands and carry very large weapons. You couldn't ask for a better family.
You
What
are
more do
now
you want?
baby.
You are baby.
You are now become baby.
Destroyer of worlds.
I mean, honestly, if the party puppy said destroy that village,
No questions.
I'm not sure that village stays. I'm just saying.
First of all, I'd be like, you can talk? Also, hold up. Be right back.
My dog made me do this.
I'm obeying my new sentient overlord.
Village is gonna have a bad day. That's right, Sphinx.
You know what?
I don't even think that Paladin could be considered having broken his oath if he's just listening to
He's
his
just following
dog.
orders. Yeah. I was told by the goodest of boys that you were a bad boy.
he stopped me from giving scritches just to tell me to kill you. So I knew it was serious.
I knew it was legit.
We can't speak with animals in this house for a reason.
Damn.
I I don't think a spell has gotten better PR than Speak with Animals did with
Baldur's
Baldur's
Gate.
Gate.
Baldur's Gate is so good.
Nobody had Speak with Animals on their character sheet before. But this game comes out and it's like I got people who aren't even spellcasters trying to find a way to talk with
Potions,
animals.
amulets. I've never, because at first I didn't have a spellcaster, but I had an amulet that every short rest. So I'd be speak with animals, talk to a bitch. It would go away. Short rest, talk to a buddy. It would go away. I ate so much food going back to camp to get my short rest back just so I could talk to every little animal I could. They got some interesting stories, I tell you.
They
They're
do.
fun.
I mean, for a GM though, like I kind of feel bad for new GMs because again, Speak with Dead, they got PR from the Dungeons and Dragons movie, so now people are including that, and Speak with Animals from the game. GMs are having to come up with a lot more characters now than ever.
It'd be
At
like that. They
what
chose this.
cost? It's more popular, but at what cost?
We knew what we were signing up for.
That's true. That's true.
That game, I swear. Anyway,
So-
that. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was actually I had a question. So
Yes.
you started on TikTok content creation for Latinos Against Spooky Shit. You've transitioned into tabletop RPGs despite having played them for years.
Yeah.
And now you actually run your own channel. Tell us a little bit about Tabletop Tempest.
Oh, hell yeah.
Sure. Tabletop Tempest. Myself and my other two founders, D&D Imposter and Hamasama-kun, super excited about this project. We wanted a space to create an environment where we could bring voices from marginalized communities and help create stories that elevated those experiences, right? So many times you see a lot of people bring diversity to the table for the sake of having a checkbox, where we wanted to bring diversity to the table for the sake of being able to tell stories that aren't being told, which is extremely exciting. We're also the only AP channel that is founded by immigrants or the children of immigrant parents, which is huge. We have Mexican, Brazilian, Japanese, and Korean representation through way of our founders. We're all super hyper vigilant and aware of like our culture and our roots, and a lot of our games stem from a lot of that as well. So we're super excited to be able to tap into that. Breaking Prometheus is a story about cultural assimilation. When you grow up, actually generational assimilation. Growing up and having your family purposefully detach you from your culture so that you can better integrate into the culture around you in a new place versus your roots and everything like that. Breaking or Beneath the Surface, another one of our APs, phenomenal story about cultural identity. There's so many cool topics and things that resonate with folks, especially in this generation, because I've noticed as part of Latinos Against Spooky Shit that a lot of my audience feels connected because these are things they grew up with but didn't necessarily have any context to, because there was that disconnect in their culture. So having people be like, oh my God, like my family also does the thing with the VIX and the chanclas and the huevo. That's wild. I never knew why. That's a Mexican thing or a Hispanic thing or a Latino thing. And it's like, yeah, dude, like that's our thing. And I'm like, oh shit, that's so cool to learn about, my culture this way. And so being able to do that in the TTRPG space now, bringing these voices and these stories together is incredibly humbling to be a part of. So super stoked, super excited. At this rate, all 3 of our APs for this year have been casted. Cast announcements to be released over the course of the next couple months, but we believe our first AP, Beneath the Surface, should be launching summer of 24. So
Oh,
yeah, stay tuned for all that fun stuff.
Exciting.
Is there ever gonna be a merger of Latinos against spooky shit and your love of TTRPGs? Because I remember one of your videos, you kind of broke down La Llorona, which I
Yeah.
had only heard of, and I was just like, one, the way you broke it down, hilarious. And two, I was just like, that would be an interesting monster to fight. Like, so has there been any thought of maybe I don't know, gamifying the spooky shit that you've seen and doing something with that?
I would love to. Many years ago, I was a huge Supernatural fan, and so before I learned of other TTRPG systems and games, I tried to create Supernatural via D&D 5e, which is just too chunky for what it is. Monsters of the Week, so much better for that, now that I've learned it and discovered it. Um, but yeah, I think there's a lot of room for that kind of content, whether it's exploring my own cultural lore, or other lore. There's some wiggle room in there to be able to tell those kind of stories and have those little one shots. Have it be educational and kind of fun, because a lot of people don't know what Llorona is, or there's a lot of different stories of what La Llorona is, or El Cucuy or things like that. So I, despite my branding, I've never been a horror GM. I've never had the chance to run that.
Oh,
But this AP that I'm doing, Breaking Prometheus, will be my first dip into that horror realm with Candela Obscura. So I'm very excited to start kind of wading those waters and seeing what else comes from it.
yeah, I look forward to seeing you run horror just because you have a way of like showing the seriousness of it while also adding like this levity where it's just like, oh, okay, I can joke in this moment, but I'm also still shitting my pants. Like, so I
Yeah,
can't wait.
it'll be interesting to see, because with it, again, with the tones that we're trying to hit and those notes, um everybody's used to comedy Jonathan. Um, I don't think they're prepared for how serious it'll get with Jonathan behind the GM screen, though. So
Hell
I,
yeah.
I always say that there's a lot of overlap with comedy and horror because
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's all about timing.
yeah,
I mean, just take a look at Jordan Peele. Like, I feel like uh
so good.
Yeah,
comedians just really get horror in a way that a lot of people don't. So,
Yeah,
because
uh,
it's about building the tension until there's a release. With comedy, it's a laugh. With horror, it's usually a scream or a uncomfortable shiver kind of deal. And
or
there's that
shitting of pants.
shitting of pants. There's
that's what the shiver is.
and it all comes down to that timing. And I think that you will do very well at it. I'm very excited to see it.
I appreciate that. Thank you. I can't wait.
Yeah.
It's been slowly gnawing at me, so I'm very excited for session 0 and all that.
So, can I ask you what's been the difference of creating a channel versus working on your own branding? Like, do you find one easier than the other, or are they just two different beasts entirely?
It's two different beasts entirely. With creating my own brand and everything, I only answer to myself, and which is means that I hold myself accountable. If I fail at something, then that means I'm only failing me. Whereas creating a channel, and especially with my fellow founders, we all hold each other accountable, which is phenomenal. I love it. But at the same time, I also know that if I slack on something and I miss a deadline, it's not just oh well, I'll just get to it later. It's I'm letting people down around me, and now these stories that we're trying to tell could be postponed. It could be held back. I am now an immediate obstacle to what we're trying to do. It's very different, and so we've still kept it lax, and we're not hard asses about it. Obviously, we're content creators. We have lives. A lot of us have other full-time jobs.
Mhm.
So we're all understanding, and it helps that these are people that I very much love and hold dear to me. So it's easy to work with them. But finding the time to separate, hey, this is friend talk versus this is now, content creation, business talk. You have to find that sweet line.
Yeah.
and be comfortable with it. And I am, and I'm thankful that, we can have those hard talks as partners in a project together, and then still go right back to being friends right afterwards. So it's difficult, but it's very rewarding.
Hell yeah. You got any more questions, Anita, or are we gonna get to the big one?
I think it's time for the big one.
Oh boy.
Okay, well, if you've been in the TTRPG space for long enough, you've probably had the displeasure of playing with a vat guy. A vat guy is a veritable black hole of fun at the table. Somebody that, if they were thrown into the sun, your experience at the table would increase tenfold, maybe even 100-fold. So, Jonathan, let's get spooky shit. Have you played with a vat guy?
Yeah. Yeah, we have. Um, Negative experiences with that guy, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I have a story, and much like the rest of this episode, I don't have a that guy. I have a those guys.
Oh no.
Oof.
Because they were brothers,
Ooh.
and they were the ones that actually got me into D&D. And we've all grown. I mean, that was 15 years ago. We were what, 13, 15, 16, right? With the younger brother being the youngest, and then the biggest age discrepancy between the two. And again, they're not bad people. They're great teachers. They taught me the game. I wouldn't be where I am in TTRPG and role playing if it weren't for them. But my experience to begin with was less than ideal, and it set a tone for me because I was like, "Oh shit, is every game like this? Fuck that." But one of them was, and they did it to each other. They would take turns DMing, which was a nightmare because whoever was DMing would always get rules lawyered by the other. So it'd always be well, that's not what the book says. And it's like, well, yeah, but that's how I'm going to roll it. And that's how we're just going to do it for now, which turned into, well, hold on, the book says here, which would then turn into a 3-hour discussion of what the book and the rules were and the mechanics. And every time that we played together, I just knew one of them would get pissed off because they would feel like they would be treated unfairly because of an arbitrary rule change or whatever. And it would just affect the rest of the game. Many times to the point where we would just stop, like after an hour, we'd be like, you know what? Like, let's just get some food and call it a night. Like, nobody's going to solve what the jump mechanics are and your fucking distance, or, whether this instantaneous spell can be used outside of combat or not, or just little. It wasn't even anything ever serious where you can say, oh, this is going to affect like the rest of the trajectory of the game, or and like, no, it was always little things that had no right being like, well, you said that I was within 5 feet of them. It's like, no, you're actually 7 feet, so you're not within striking distance. Like, I will fucking shit in both your fucking mouths. I swear to God.
It's like this.
Like, it was little things like that were so aggravating.
Oh god.
It's the Ninja Stars in Space conversation.
What?
I once played with a set of brothers. I was dating one of them. And a session stopped for a full 3 hours because the younger brother, the one that I wasn't dating, went on a tangent about how if you throw a ninja star in space, it'll just keep going.
What was his art? What?
He wanted to throw a ninja star in space at a space station, and in the hopes that it would basically blow out the windows.
Okay, a couple problems with that. One, cold welding because metal on metal.
Mm-hmm.
2,
it's not going to gain momentum.
It's not getting momentum. You would throw yourself technically,
Yeah,
but even then, barely. So no, it would have to have objects in motion stay in motion, but it would have something to give it.
yeah.
I want you to find this person. Tell them they're fucking wrong.
You know
Message
what I'm
them right now.
realizing?
Are they in my chat? Who is it? Is it Sphinx? Is it you?
No,
Coming after you, Shane.
it's not Sphinx. It's never
Okay.
Sphinx.
Oh.
His name was Tyler, which
Of course it was.
Yeah. You
That's
you can
right.
imagine what Tyler looks like.
I think I just thought of a new meme. If you
Try.
think if you think of the dumbest reason a game you've been in has stopped, it probably sounds like a cool fucking band name, like Ninja Stars in
There's in
Space.
space.
Like Cobra Starship. Cobra Starship sounds like such a dope band for such a shit band.
The dumbest reason a game ever stopped for me was flipping over tables. Sounds like a cold fan name.
Flipping over tables.
Oh,
Were you the one that
Uh,
flipped the table, or someone else the one that flipped the table?
no, I was third party in this one. Somebody tried to flip over a table, but they did it from prone, and apparently there was supposed to be some sort of negative to the acrobatic check, but like the guy said he had the acrobatic feat, so that didn't apply, and then there was just a whole argument. I don't know. I didn't care
I
at the
already
time.
don't care. Yeah, that was
Yes, but no, this argument got heated, like just.
and that's the problem. It's like they get heated over little shit. Like, come on, it's not that deep.
The Ninja Stars, 3 hours. 3 hours. I don't think we ever got back to the game. I think we just stopped.
Flipping over tables actually ended the campaign.
Oh no.
The only thing I remember was the guy yelling, "What's the fucking point of being a muck then?" in the storming out. I'm like, what is the point of being a fucking muck?
If I can't flip a table from prone, why am I even here? Why is this a thing? That's my whole character backstory. Trained from birth to flip tables while prone.
Yeah.
Well, you've denied me my one thing.
Taylor don't support this. He has a point though. All right, so that is the big hole of negative. We like to end on more. We would like to end on a more positive note. So we've got two more questions for you, which is, do you have a comfort blanket player? And I'll explain what that is. A comfort blanket. We were talking about how the scene is rather cliquish.
Mhm.
Comfort blanket players are players that try to break that, like try to bring people into new groups, and if you see that they're playing at a table, you immediately know that you're going to have a good time because you can at least trust this one person to care. Like, so do you have anyone that you would consider a comfort blanket player?
I do. I have a few of them.
Yeah.
D&D Imposter, Chris, they are phenomenal, great people, and their radar for like detecting bullshit people is spot on. It's great. So I know that if I see them at a table, they've vetted people already, and that they're good to be there. So D&D Imposter for sure. Luke Kimbrough, Luke from Misty Mountain Legends.
I love
He's got
Misty Mountain
Pinto
Legends.
Bean and Anna and them. Luke and I had the pleasure of sharing a table together when we did Mysteries of the Maw for Tales of Novum, and fantastic human when it comes to role playing, a scene partner, and just surrounding themselves with good people. So for sure, if I see Luke anywhere, I know that that's a good table. Gabe Hicks, love Gabe. Playing with him in a campaign right now. And again, they are just wholesome, lovely folks. So if I see them sitting anywhere, I'm like, that's my boy. I'm gonna go hang out with him. And who have I played with recently? I think. I mean, I played with Alec. Obviously, I love Alec as a GM. It was my first one shot with Alec, and I know that he takes pride in his craft and in TTRPG. So if I see Alec anywhere with people, actually, I often go to Alec and be like, "Hey, man, I just met this one person in the scene. Like, you know, any like, is this a piece of shit? Like, should I,
Yeah.
what's going on?"
I love those conversations.
Like, you have to, because it's the space.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, and perception is reality, and it happens. But and there's so much that like has happened in this space while I've been out of it
Yeah.
that like I gotta catch up on the lore. You know, the lore document is fucking deep on this shit.
Well, you would have accidentally find out you sat at a table with Sauron.
You know, that's what I'm saying. Be like, no, this guy was super chill and everything. Yeah, he made a couple offhand comments and be like, that was Hitler. I'm like, oh shit, my fuck. Ooh, my, you know, I thought he looked funny. You know, I thought he looked out of place.
That's been my nightmare, bro. Like sitting at a table, you're just like, oh, did this motherfucker build the One Ring? Like,
Yeah.
Someone gotta
It's-
update the wiki. It's out of date.
It's so it's funny. Gotta go with them. But yeah, I think that would be the group of people that I would be like trust them implicitly. If I see them at a table, I know it's all good.
okay.
But I love them to death. And I've
Shout out to
played.
comfort blanket players.
Fuck yeah, y'all saved me a lot of background checks and going 3 years deep into tweets.
And I believe you are the third person to bring up D&D Imposter. We gotta reach out.
D&D Imposter is phenomenal. Again, 1/3 of Tabletop Tempest, so I would highly recommend having them on. They are
Absolutely.
salt of the earth, just good peep.
All right, and the final thing that we do here, this is a little bit more broad than the comfort blanket player. This is just the community spotlight. If there's anybody that you've seen inside or out of the TTRPG space where you're like, this person could use a little bit more light, this person could use more shine, and we should reach out to them. Like, who in the community would you like to put a spotlight on?
My boy Cujo from Cujo Plays Games. Um, he's been my number one homie, like for years now, since I started playing, or since I started streaming and posting. Wholesome, super good dude. He's just a little puppy dog. He's just a little golden retriever boy. I love him. I love bullying him so much. It's funny because I love telling this story. He being Mexican, I grew up being bullied. It's my love language. It's my thing. When he and I first met in person, he came with me on a trip that I had to go to in California, and I started like lightly roasting him. I noticed he got really sad, and he's like, "Do you not like me?" And I'm like, "What? No, Cujo, baby boy. I bully you because I love you, man." He's like, and then I'm like, "Wait a minute, quick question for you. Just answer this for me." And he's like, "Yeah, what's up?" I was like, "Did you grow up in a household like where you were loved and supported, and like your parents like just kind of supported all your choices?" Like, yeah. I was like, got it. There it is. Okay, I understand now. You grew up being loved. We grew up being hurt by words. So that's where we're different.
We have
don't
to
get that.
adjust accordingly.
Yeah.
You don't
So
have that
I've-
layer of trauma.
Yeah, I have to be a little soft, but no, Cujo actually just started his own AP channel, Crit Hit Chronicles. We finished the first series of that, which was Final Fantasy VII Remission, a behind the scenes of Final Fantasy campaign that takes place right at the end of the first disc, essentially, of Final Fantasy VII.
Sorry, one
Beca-
sec. Accidentally
Oh.
clicked something wrong. Hold up. Hold up. Sorry, everybody. My bad.
They're
We're
trying to
back.
censor me. They're trying to censor me on February.
We
Say
can't.
this is
We
some
like you
bullshit.
can't let them speak the truth. Cut his mic.
Imagine the camera came back on and they're just putting a burlap sack over me and dragging me.
So just bust through the door.
Jesus. Final Fantasy VII Remission, phenomenal. It's on their account. Go check it out if you like Final Fantasy. It was in anticipation of the new Final Fantasy Rebirth that was coming out, so he took a lot of time to prepare this very cool alternate story based on the new games coming out that turned out just incredible. So, fucking Cujo, absolutely love him and what he's got going on.
Hell yeah. I have to say that fucking overlay for the Final Fantasy Remission game is it's clean.
It's yep.
It's clean, bro.
It looks good. I think it's the final episode where we did Tailspire. and he found a bunch of resources that were made to look like Midgar, and it looks so fucking
Wow.
good. A lot of the characters, he found Shinra soldiers, like the Airbuster soldier, like so fucking good. Top to bottom, one of my favorite series that he just texted me. That's funny. That I've been in, short series that I've been in recently. So no, super excited for it. Loved it, and yeah, check him out.
Hell
Heard
yeah.
you talking shit.
Tell Spire made it look so good. Okay, we got some vouching in the chat too. So I
Heck
was
yeah.
just already taken with the overlay, but now I've got to check out Tailspire. I I really I want to use Tailspire so bad. I just haven't been able to get my hands on
It's
it.
Tailspire is it's gotten better. When it first released, it wasn't very intuitive. They've changed a couple of user interface things that have made it a little bit easier to navigate. But also there's a whole online community of resources that you can find of like pre-built shit that you can just drag and drop in. So
Holy crap! I'm looking at the final episode with Tailspire, and it looks directly out of the PlayStation game. Like
yeah, it looks
that's
great.
so cool.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, and with Tailspire, you can import your Hero Forge minis directly into it as long as you buy the source file for it. So it's fun. It's good.
And my man came in clean with the vest and tie. Okay, I see you
Yeah,
out here,
right?
Cujo. I see you out here doing it big. Oh no, I'm definitely going to check that one out. That looks very good. I put the links in chat, so please go ahead, bookmark it, and go ahead and give those a watch. I did the Twitch channel and the YouTube. Show the YouTube some love. They're at 15 subscribers. Let's pump them up. Um, but yeah, is there anybody else you'd like to put a spotlight on for this week?
uh, my boy Alec. I know he's been on here before. I know we talk about him, but Tales of Novum is
Oh
such an
yeah.
exciting project, and it's so cool to have been part of something like that. And to continue to be a part of something like that. The fact that he's invited me multiple times and that the story keeps evolving and I keep coming back to play maybe the same character, maybe new characters. I don't know. You guys are gonna have to watch. But being able to be a part of just that world building and that lore and shaping that story um has been really, really cool. It's been the greatest honor, honestly. So
Yeah.
love them. And then finally, the first people to have me on an AP that allowed me to
Ooh.
play a character true to my roots, Mariachi Araña, which was a Spider-Man variant that was a mariachi that got bit by a radioactive spider in Mexico. Five GMs in a trench coat.
Is that the name?
That's their name. Five GMs in a trench coat. Fantastic humans. Um, the first AP that I ever got invited to was through them, and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna be doing some, Spider-Man multiverse type thing." And I was like, "Yeah, sure, I'm into it." And I came up with this concept of Mariachi Araña that if you get a chance to check them out on Instagram or Twitter, check out the artwork that they did for all these characters for this little one shot campaign. Mariachi Araña looks fantastic. They all do. One of them's like this Mad Max variant Spider-Man. Another one's like an old wizard Spider-Man. They're so fucking good. They did all their own art.
Wow.
Yeah, it was such a fun story to get to be this Latino character that I got to present for the first time. And playing in my own skin kind of felt good and new and different, and it was just so fucking awesome. So check them out. They got a
I
bunch of projects coming up.
I put
Um,
their link in chat. They also they have a website as well, so I'm gonna link that as well.
I just threw it in there.
Oh well.
yeah,
I got
their
you.
enter the
Teamwork.
Spider-Verse campaign was my debut in the TTRPG space. And then from there, Tales of Novum, and everything that's followed thereafter. But no, huge shout out to Five GMs in a Trench Coat, Alec the Bard, Cujo. You guys are awesome, and I can't wait to see what you guys keep doing in the space.
Oh, that mariachi Spider-Man looks so fucking sick.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh no, I was looking for it this whole time. I found it. I'm gonna put it in the chat. That's sick. With the
I
skull.
I gave
Okay.
I gave their artist the design and the idea. And then within 24 hours, they came up with that concept. And 24 hours later, they had it colored and paletted and everything. And I was like, fuck. It was exactly what I wanted. You can't see it in that picture very well, depending at the angle, but he's got little calaveras, little skulls on the heels of his boots as well.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can see it.
So Maria
That's
Cheraña, man.
that's sick. Look, you were describing Spider-Man's. I have to see alternate Spider-Man costumes, and there's one with and without the mask too. That's real dope.
Yeah.
Real dope. Spider-Man. Okay, let me stop. I'm gonna keep looking at
They're good. They're so and
They're
they're
so
so funny. It's this was another one of those instances where finding that fine line between like funny and serious, because it's Spider-Man,
right.
witty, quick comebacks, but also that serious tone to him when the time comes. This was something that really let me explore that in like a performative setting, because we were recording for the podcast and everything. And it was so good. And I remember, if you watch the episodes, there's a thing that eventually becomes a bit throughout the entire rest of the series that we did. And it's so fucking fun that we got to just run with it. And it's like, okay, shit's getting serious, but also we're having fun with it because we're Spider-Man. You have to.
Oh,
Aw, hell yeah.
what system did you say you guys were using for that again?
That one was the Marvel system.
Oh yes. Okay.
Yeah.
I've been looking for a Marvel action play to check out. So this is
Check
definitely
'em.
happening. That's so fucking cool. But that's everything that we have established here. Anita, were there any other questions on your end?
We have a question from our Patreon.
Oh
No.
yes, let's hear it.
Sphinx wants to know, why are you so cool?
Well, when a cool mom and a deadbeat dad meet.
I know this story.
No, honestly, I'm just me, man. I just try to vibe. I just live a good life. I try to do I try to leave this place a little bit better than what it was like when I got here. Whether that means the space that I'm in, whether that means the world in general, just the apartment. It's a shitty world. It doesn't need more shitty people. So I just try to be as nice as I can be.
Aw.
I got
Uh,
it. Oh, go ahead.
no, go.
I just gotta say, I gotta tell you, it's always daunting when you bring people here. When we bring people here that like I'm personally a fan of. I have loved your stuff for a very long time. Not even gonna.
I've recognized your name. I've seen you. I've seen you in my. I know.
Uppies for
So
the boys?
we don't talk about uppies because I haven't got them yet. But
You
I just
did?
have to say,
Corn dog.
I want more. I want the final uppie. You know what uppie I'm after.
Damn.
I'm after the uppie I don't get back up from.
The final up.
I'm wandering the earth trying to find the uppie that finally sets me free from my
Damn.
never-ending journey.
Oh my god.
An uppie so violent that I can send the halls of Valhalla proud. But anyway, what I was trying to say is that it's always something when you bring people here that you're fan of, but it's always incredible when they turn out to be just as awesome and nice as you were hoping they would be, and you have been wonderful. Thank you for coming.
Appreciate it.
I am one of your hosts, Noir. You can find me all over the internet as the Noir Enigma. That's Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, Hive, Butterfly, I guess is the fucking name. No, Blue
Blue
Sky.
sky.
Fucking
Butterfly in the
OnlyFans,
sky.
whatever. Like,
I
you
can fly
find me
twice as
wherever.
high. In a
Um,
book.
and that'll bring it over to Anita.
Yes. Hi. I'm Anita. You can find me everywhere at Panita. I'm a TTRPG streamer. I do things here. Monday, we've got a new show. It is a Scum and Villainy / Court of Blades mashup, so it's very Forged in the Dark. And it's called Zero Games. And it's jammed by the wonderful Arcane Goth, or Max. And Fridays, you can find me here again for our Warren Guard game, where I play Vera, who's a grumpy old timer divorcee who is the leader of the Warren Guard. It's fun. You should check it out. We had a blast last night. And what else? Sundays, Nora and I are on Indoor Adventures for Apocalypse Keys.
Oh yeah, I play
We're-
Judas.
We're team religious trauma because I'm an angel of the Lord and he's Judas.
Oof.
And
Oof.
That's the best response. Just oof.
team religious trauma, baby. We've got a personification of the
I
Garden
listen,
of
I grew up in
Eden.
the church. I get that.
And it's GM'd by the wonderful Hype Goblin.
Sarah.
We love Sarah. Other than that, just check me out on Twitter. That's it. But Jonathan, tell us where folks can find you.
Tell the people where to find you.
Oh,
That is
don't
like
know.
a black
I don't-
hole. I don't know where that came from.
I don't know why that sounded. That sounded like I just whooped your ass in Domino's at the family barbecue. And you calling me out for something? Damn. Hola, buenas tardes. My name is Jonathan. Latinos Against Spooky Shit. You can find me everywhere as Latinos Against Spooky Shit, except for gamer tags and Twitter, because my name's way too long and they limit me on characters, so it's Against Spooky. So if you ever see anybody online with the handle Against Spooky, that's probably me that just teabagged your body in Fortnite. So get shit on, get better. You can find me Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays streaming over on Twitch. Again, Latinos Against Spooky Shit there. And then you can find me coming soon with what do I have in the works? Tales of Novum campaign being released later this year. Tabletop Tempest official launch summer 24, so a couple months now. And yeah, all other sorts of little projects in between. So check out the Discord, best way to keep in touch with what I got going on. Check out the Patreon if you like, best way to see behind the scenes content of things happening. And also, if you want to game with me, being part of the Patreon gets you guys community game nights. So
Hell yeah.
fun stuff
Yeah.
to do. Yeah. That's all I got.
Oh, speaking of Patreons, if you like what you see here, you want to support us, we have our very own Patreon. You get to ask permanent questions. If you donate or whatever it's called, you get to leave a question that we will ask literally all of our guests. So
We also have previews of upcoming guests for available on the Patreon. And March is coming very soon.
and I think there's a tier to make me watch shitty movies, but don't worry about that one.
Yeah.
That's it. The ritual's concluded. Goodbye. I did it. I did our outro.
My credit score is decreasing.
The ritual
No,
has
it's
concluded. Bye,
fair.
everybody.